About to see is a man struggling for his life, and it's a struggle that sadly he lost. The deputies responded to a disturbance call at the Executive Inn on Front Beach Road about 2 o'clock this morning. And it began when 23-year-old Andrew Grand got into an argument with a female friend. They were part of a group that was driving down Front Beach Road. Apparently, Grand forced the female to let him out of the car in the parking lot of the Executive Inn. He shoved the female. That's when somebody called 911. 3 deputies responded, Deputy David Higgins and Rick Williams and Sergeant Billy Bird. They had along with them a video crew from a production company that was filming a reality TV show. We warn you, the video you're about to see can be disturbing at times. And one of the deputies, in fact, Rick Williams, caught up with Grant at the motel's front parking lot. That's when the cameras showed up. Williams was trying to arrest Grant. They said that he was resisting, as he was putting the handcuffs on him. At one point, before the cameras got there, Grant ingested some sort of material. They believe, as it turns out, it was plastic bags of marijuana. You can see he's struggling. He gets up off of the ground here. That's when one of the deputies pulls a taser and shoots Grant in the chest. He pulls the taser probes immediately out of his chest. Then he begins pounding on his chest. You can see him reaching down his throat, trying to get whatever's blocking his air passage. He's trying to let the deputies know, I can't breathe. They realize pretty quickly what's going on here. And you can see them in just a moment here begin to perform the Heimlich maneuver, trying to get him to the point where he can breathe on his own again. Now, he is still breathing at this point. He's struggling to try and get his breath. This goes on for about 2 to 3, 4 minutes, actually. Grand goes back down to the ground. You can see him going limp there. The deputies continue to try and work on him. They're trying to check his mouth for what's inside his throat. He tries to get up. At one point, a deputy grabs a medical bag out of the back of his truck, or his car, pardon me, in the trunk of his car, comes back over. They begin to try and resuscitate him. The ambulance shows up, and that's when paramedics jump into this. So they took Grand to Bay Medical Center, and sadly, doctors pronounced him dead there later this morning. This afternoon, Bay County Sheriff Frank McKeithen told us that Grand most likely would have only faced misdemeanor marijuana charges had he cooperated, but once he resisted, the stakes became much more serious.
You know, the guy was on the ground, the officer was trying to handcuff him. If he'd have been allowed them to handcuff him, it would have been over. There would have been no tasing, there would have been no resisting, and this would not have happened. You know, certainly, unfortunately our officers was there, but this subject chose to ingest this and put this in his mouth, and because of that, he's dead.
McKeithen requested the FDLE to take over this investigation. At this point, McKeithen says that it would appear that Grand died of suffocation, but he is waiting on the autopsy results, just as the FDLE is, to make that call. Deputy Rick Williams suffered a hyperextended hand during the struggle with Grand. He was treated at a local hospital and released. All 3 of the deputies are now on administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. And there were actually 2